Welcome to A Taste of Her, Sweet and Spicy Sapphic Short Stories by Tiana Warner. The String Bikini Castaway. With my black string bikini hugging my curves, my blonde hair in a high ponytail, and a golden tan, I carry my paddleboard down to the beach with purpose. I'm going to post such smoking hot pictures today that Tara is going to rue the day she dumped me. Between this outfit, this smile, and this confidence, I am flourishing without her. The June morning is crisp, raising goosebumps on my skin. A few other cars are in the parking lot, but it's early enough that it's just kite surfers and kayakers. The lack of crowds should make for a peaceful time on the water. At the shoreline, I turn on my GoPro and strap the paddleboard's leash to my ankle. I toss my dry bag aboard next to my life jacket, which will have to hang out at my feet because it'll look dorky in pictures. As I step into the tide, the wind whips strands of hair in my eyes and pulls my board every which way. The waves hit my thighs, and I gasp. Holy crap, it's cold. Maybe the sight of all the kite surfers should have tipped me off that it's too windy to paddleboard. But I spent a long time doing my makeup and drove an hour to get here, so I need to get at least one good picture. Okay, let's get this over with, I mumble. Not usually the way I start a day of paddling, but the wind isn't exactly making this fun. Last time I paddleboarded, Tara was with me, and the day was sunny, hot, and perfect. We had precarious sex on her board underneath the pier, me on top, her legs spread beneath me, cool fingers tugging aside each other's swimsuits. I can still hear her moans beneath the hissing waves, feel her hot breath in my ear and her cold skin sliding against mine. It was bold and adventurous, and so typically her. It was the moment I realized she always made my day more fun, and the moment I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing exciting things with her. Then, a week later, she dumped me, told me she didn't love me anymore. Fuck her anyway. I'm hot and lovable, and she's going to see me having sexy fun without her in these photos and regret her choices. I kneel on the board, and after a struggle with the paddle, a gust pushes me away from the shore. I try to stand, but a wave rocks the board and I fall to my knees. I grit my teeth. I can do this. I just need to stand for long enough to take a picture. But after a few minutes of struggling, the wind is getting stronger. And when I look back at the beach, my heart leaps into my throat. I've drifted a long way from where I started and am way too far from the shore for comfort. I grab the paddle and dig into the waves, aiming for the beach. The wind pushes me sideways, making it impossible to steer. Oh shit, I whisper. I grunt with the effort of paddling, using all my strength. It's not enough. The swells are getting higher, and the wind is a harsh mistress. I put on the life jacket, past caring how dorky it looks. Great. I just wanted to make my ex mourn losing me, and now I'm about to become a castaway and be mourned for real. Mother Nature pushes me around a bend where the beach turns into a forest. I'm too far out to swim to safety. A ripple of actual fear shudders through me. I've paddleboarded for years, and I've always been able to get back to shore. What now? Will the waves push me to shore eventually, or am I going to drown out here? Maybe I should get my phone out of my dry bag and call someone for help. This is Tara's fault. I wouldn't be here today if she hadn't been totally heartless. Hey, are you stuck? A faint voice asks, and I snap my head around to search for the siren call. By the forested shoreline, there's a 20-something woman in a red canoe. She's in a life jacket and snapback hat, her pale skin streaked with sunscreen, looking much more practical and prepared than me with my idiotic string bikini and no emergency equipment. I didn't even remember to put on sunscreen this morning. A border collie in a red life jacket sits in front of her, its ears perked in my direction. They're both probably judging the hell out of me right now. Wait. Rosie? The woman says. What? Oh God. It's Elise. I went on 3 dates with her last winter before she ghosted me. I'm fine, I say, gripping my swaying board for dear life. No way am I accepting help from her. Just resting before I paddle back. Liar, there's no way you can paddleboard in this wind. You're spinning like a top. I can't argue. The waves push me around so I'm facing away from her, and then back the other way, twirling me like I'm debris from a shipwreck. I'm coming. Don't move, Elise says. Couldn't if I wanted to, I mumble at nature's mercy. She paddles closer. This is Maggie. She's friendly. Toss me the leash? For a moment, I think she's talking about the border collie's leash, and then I notice her pointing to the strap around my ankle. Oh, yeah. I undo the Velcro and toss it to her. She fastens it to the canoe so my board won't float away, then turns back to me. Okay, ready for you. Maggie, stay. Ugh, I really don't want to be rescued by some woman who ghosted me a year and a half ago, but what else am I supposed to do? Drown out of stubbornness? Elise uses the leash to pull me closer, then kneels in the middle of the canoe and holds out a hand. I take it. She's warm and dry, and after thinking I was going to die alone out here, I don't want to let go. She keeps the canoe balanced while I climb in. The waves send us up and down, our watercrafts bumping into each other. Maggie whines as I add to the unsteadiness. I'm shaking and exhausted, and with a groan, I land sideways between Elise's legs. My ass is on the bottom, my legs hanging over the side, one hand gripping the edge and the other on her inner thigh. I take my hand off her thigh. Sorry. Rosie, you're freezing, she says, running her warm hands up and down my arms. Are you okay? The motion is intimate, and paired with the way I'm positioned, it makes me blush furiously. I swing my legs over so I'm sitting in the bottom of the canoe facing her. Yeah, I'm fine. I haven't been out here for long. Our faces are close, and the waves nearly make me fall into her lap again. She smells like sunscreen and citrus. Meeting her hazel eyes, I remember why I was so attracted to her, and why it hurt so much when she never texted me back. She's as beautiful as ever, and still definitely my type. Nerdy, outdoorsy, a dog mom, confident and chill. Her dark blonde hair pokes out of her hat in a cute, short ponytail. Why do all of the amazing women in the world dump me? Is there something wrong with me? Elise clears her throat and returns to her seat, and I pretend to be occupied with my life jacket. Do you need water? A snack? First aid? She motions to the clutter around me. There's a lot of stuff in the canoe. Bags, a cooler, ropes, flotation devices. I'm good, thanks. But you have solid emergency preparedness. Elise smiles. A tingle goes through me, though it might just be a shiver because there's a dog sniffing the back of my neck. Hello, Maggie, I say, rubbing her ear. I've heard good things about you. There's a thump-thump as the dog's tail hits the side of the canoe. Elise blushes and rummages in her pile of stuff, maybe remembering how she told me about Maggie on our dates, before she ghosted me. I'll never forget the night we went to an indoor go-kart track. It was the best date I've ever been on. The way she looked as she passed me in the little cart, with a dorky helmet on and a playful grin on her lips, made me break down into giggles that didn't stop for the rest of the evening. Her charm turned me to putty in her arms at the end of the night. She'd walked me to my car, and before saying goodbye, she'd pushed me up against it and kissed me hard. Her hips pressed against mine, her strong hands ran up and down my body, and her lips and tongue took control of the situation in a way that left me intoxicated. I remember gasping into her lips, which made her smile and make a delicious little moan in response. I'd wanted her so badly right there. It kept me up for nights afterward, wishing I'd invited her back to my place, wishing I could have kissed her naked body from head to toe. Where'd you start? She asks, snapping me back to reality. She ties a yellow rope to my board so we can tow it behind us. And of course she knows how to do an intricate sailor's knot. First beach, I say, tearing my gaze away from her fingers. The pier? Yeah. Holy shit, the wind blew you far. I know. My arms are dying. She laughs. Well, it's not a great day for paddling. Don't need to tell me that, I grumble. There's an awkward pause. I look at Maggie, who stares back. There's a lot of intelligence behind her brown eyes. Elise tosses me a bungee. Here, use this to fasten your stuff to the board. Thanks. I take it and strap down my paddle and dry bag. I furiously cram my GoPro into the bag, shame licking through me. The scenery is beautiful along here, Elise says, motioning to the forested shoreline. I'm sorry you couldn't enjoy it today. It's fine. I wasn't really out here to... I shut my mouth, heat rising in my face. Wow, I must sound like an idiot. So I wasn't out here to enjoy the scenery and experience, but instead, to get bikini pictures? Ew, who am I? I think karma got me, I say. Elise raises an eyebrow, waiting for me to go on. I push my board away so we can get going, avoiding her gaze. Honestly, I was hoping to get cute photos so I can post them on Instagram and make my ex regret dumping me. There's a pause, and then Elise lets out a laugh. An admirable plan. Well, you do look super hot, if that makes you feel better. Thank you. A flutter swoops through my chest, which I ignore. Yeah, she was forward when we went on our 3 dates. I check her out, hoping she can't see what my eyes are doing behind my sunglasses. She's as hot as ever, and I can't help but admire the way her arms flex as she dips her paddle in the water. What if your ex doesn't check your Instagram? She asks. Who doesn't check their ex's social media? I don't. Well, you're an anomaly. Crap. Am I weird for checking on my exes? No, that's totally normal and lots of people do it. I even tried to creep on Elise way back when, but her profile is private. How long ago did you break up? She asks. 2 weeks. I grab the spare oar from the bottom of the canoe and get in the front seat to help paddle. My back is to her, which is better than if we were in a rowboat and had to stare into each other's eyes the whole way back. Maggie sits in the middle of the canoe and stares at the water intently, like she's been tasked with keeping an eye out for fish. You shouldn't have gone out paddling by yourself, Elise says. I twist around in the seat to glare at her. You're canoeing by yourself. She motions to the bags on the bottom of the canoe. I've got a lot of safety equipment with me. I see that. You look like you're on a scout's adventure. And you look like you're on a quest to be a brand ambassador. #BikiniBabe. Use the code ROSIE to get 10% off. I scowl, but it only lasts a second before I break into laughter. Touché. Anyway, you remember how I am? I sure do. I shouldn't be surprised that she's ultra prepared for a little canoe trip. For our second date, which also ended in a fierce make-out session at my car, she'd sent me an itinerary for our dinner movie night, along with a Google Maps link in case I got lost. Her hobby also caught my interest. Are you still doing search and rescue with Maggie? I ask. She hesitates. No, actually. Oh? I face forward and start paddling. The shoreline looks a lot nicer from the safety of a canoe, thick roots tangling along the earthy shoreline, mossy boulders that would be good places to stop for a picnic, glimpses of a hiking trail through the trees. This is why I like paddling. It was cool for a time, and I miss it, Elise says. But when things get real, you realize it's not all a fun adventure, and people's lives could be lost. Is that why you stopped doing it? Another pause. We lost a team member when we were pulling a skier out of an avalanche. That kind of thing sticks with you for a while. My heart squeezes. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked. It's okay. I've been to therapy, and I'm dealing with it. I paddle some more, searching for the right words. How awful. I can't imagine what that would feel like. But why is she telling me this? We went on a few dates and had our tongues in each other's mouths, but we're basically strangers. I didn't text you back because that was when it happened, she says, a tremor in her voice. The avalanche thing. I couldn't pull myself together enough to think about dating. I'm sorry I left you hanging. My heart skips a beat. I don't look back at her. So she didn't ghost me because she got bored? It wasn't about me? Don't apologize, I say. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's good that you took time to process it and go to therapy, and I'm glad you're doing better. She says nothing. Was that the right thing for me to say? Should I comment on how much I liked the dates we went on? You've got a couple of new tattoos, she says, swiftly changing the topic. My insides twist. I hope I didn't make her feel bad for not texting me. I had no idea what she was going through, and now I feel like an ass for assuming she was being rude. I just really liked her when we went out. She was fun and a total flirt. I can't bring myself to say this, especially since she obviously wants to change the topic. Yeah, I say, glancing at one of the tattoos she's talking about. A flock of birds on my wrist. I'm up to 6. Wow, that's a lot. Not really. It's a lot compared to someone who doesn't have any. What's the spiral by your elbow? I grin. Oh, I was drunk. My bestie and I got matching ones in Havana. It doesn't mean anything. She chuckles. Will you get it removed? I look at her over my shoulder. No, I like it. She raises an eyebrow. I don't regret any of my tattoos, I say. Or anything, really. You don't regret anything ever? I shake my head. Everything's a worthy experience. The tattoos are moments in my life. I don't regret the drunk one because it makes me think of that chapter of my existence and how much fun my bestie and I had together. The memory is part of who I am, and so is the tattoo. That's a nice way of looking at it. But I have a hard time believing you never regret anything. A salty spray hits me and I wince. Elise grins. Nope, I say. Can't think of a thing. As we paddle over the rough swells, pulling my board behind us, I have to admit I'm grateful Elise found me. I never would have made it back, and probably would have had to call my dad for help. My mind spins around the idea of regret, and how Elise might be letting it too far into her life. Do you regret getting into search and rescue? She doesn't answer right away. Her paddle dips into the water 5 times, 10 times. Finally, she says, no. Good. I get into the rhythm of paddling, enjoying the way it feels to move over the water instead of fighting it. You should get back into it, Elise. It's important work, and I'm guessing you're good at it. Based on the way Maggie stares at me like she's peering into my soul, I'm guessing she's smart enough to be great at it, too. She's a genius, and thanks for the encouragement. You never know. I might go back to it someday. I look back at Maggie, who gazes at the passing shore like she's genuinely interested in sightseeing. It's pretty cute. So you're done with search and rescue and now you canoe by yourself on weekends, I say. Somehow, you just made my life sound pathetic. I did not. Canoeing is cool. And retiring from search and rescue at 25 because I got scared? It's amazing you did it in the first place. We paddle in silence. What does she think of me, heading out on the water on a whim, with no thought as to what would happen if I got in trouble? She's calculated and careful in everything she does, and I'm over here with tattoos I got when I was drunk. I dated someone recently who hated canoeing, Elise says. It always made me sad. We broke up a few weeks ago, so now I get to do it as much as I want. I've been going every weekend ever since. Ah, so we're both here today to spite our exes. Elise laughs. I guess so. Except I'm being spiteful by trying to take a hot bikini picture while Elise is out here doing an activity she loves. Trying to look at this objectively, my plan might not be very productive. If I'm going to post a hot bikini picture, I should do it for myself, not my ex. At least Elise is enjoying herself. We get to shore and I climb out of the canoe a little shakily. I need a stiff drink tonight. Maggie jumps out and sniffs around the beach while Elise and I get my paddleboard out of the water. You good to get home? Elise asks. Yeah, thanks. I drove. I take off my life jacket, which is cold, wet, and sticky. Okay, let me know if... Elise trails off. What? She opens and closes her mouth. That's a nice bikini. Wow, it works. I grin. She's adorable when she's flustered. Thanks. At least someone appreciates how hot I look today. The sun peeks out, and a beautiful strip of light stretches across the ocean. Our gazes catch. My heart skips a beat. Her hazel eyes pull me in, and I fight the urge to step closer. Thank you for saving me, I say. I owe you. Stop. You don't owe me a thing. Not dinner to say thanks? Say, Friday at 7? My heart leaps into my throat as the words rush out. I'm fully aware I might get rejected by her for the second time, but I have to try. When things ended between us, it wasn't because she lost interest, so maybe something is still there. Maybe the two of us could have a second chance. Elise opens her mouth in surprise, and then she laughs, her whole face brightening. On second thought, you owe me big time. Dinner sounds great. Then maybe I could kick your ass at go-karting again. Whatever. I would have won if you didn't ram me into the wall, you big cheater. My body feels light, like the wind could carry me into the sky. I can't believe I'm getting another chance with her. She's absolutely stunning, and the longer I look at her, the weaker my knees get. Hey, do you want me to take that picture you came here for? She asks. Nah, I'm good. She's not moving. It's as if she's not ready to leave, and neither am I. I clear my throat, my cheeks burning. Actually, we're both out here to spite our exes, right? Maybe we should, post something that would make them jealous. Elise raises an eyebrow. A cute smile plays on her lips. Like what? I grin. I don't know. We could kiss. She steps closer. To make them jealous? I step in until we're nose to nose. Right. The wind whips our hair and sends a ripple of goosebumps up my body. The sun illuminates her eyes, drawing me all the way in. We close the distance, and she's as soft and strong as I remember. Her hand caresses my cheek, and I slide mine around to her lower back. I hold her against me, an explosion of fireworks going off inside my chest as we move our lips tenderly against each other. The kiss is soft, patient, promising that we have time, promising that I'll get a proper chance with her this time. I guess I don't need to take a picture today. The memory of this will stay with me without the help of a camera. Just her, me, Maggie, and the wild waves lapping at our feet. The end. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe to support these stories, and so you never miss a new release. You can find all of Tiana Warner's Sapphic romance books on her website at tianawarner.com.